Hello, and welcome to the show I would like to refer to as Wednesday Wonders. So, this is the show I do every Wednesday from now on, where I will introduce you guys to a video game that is particularly beautiful in some sort of way. This game is called The Sun and Moon, and it is incredibly simple and is like a... To me at least, it is the example of what a platformer is, right? This is the condensation of what is a platforming game. Outside of that, what really hooked me on this game was its very low poly visuals that are just amazing, and then the soundtrack. So currently, music is quite boring, but that will change as the game goes on. So, I just reset my progress earlier. This is the screen you get when you start the game. Let's get going. Level 1. Here's the controls. Very simple, very simple visuals, not very overdone. One thing I want to change, Misk. Those, I remembered why I hadn't turned them on. Second level, it tells us that the shift button does something. Here's what the shift button does. It allows you to pass through materials. So while shift is held down, you will pass through materials if you have velocity. I'm holding shift down, nothing is happening. Walk in here, and I'm pulled up. So inside materials, gravity is basically reversed. And this is the world select screen, level 3. So that is its only mechanic. Also see, here it introduces spikes. You die if you touch the spikes. So here, up through. So, this game has one of the best uses of a very simple mechanic. At least in my opinion. So, and this is all you do. You jump and you fuck about. That's all you really do. But the really interesting stuff comes when it introduces its worlds, which, if I remember correctly, is relatively soon. As you see, there's no story. So see, we can go up there when we have completed 10 levels. So let's do that. Also, notice that if I just held shift down, I would go the entirety of the way through. Hold shift down, jump. So slowly it is feeding us information on what you can actually do with this mechanic. I'm so far not doing anything crazy. Just very simple jumping and walking into things. 10th level. Get you and up here. So here you see you can use them as almost an elevator. So, second world. This transformation blew my mind. Listen to the music. Huh, we haven't heard that section before. Oh, goddamn. Huh. So, the way the game changes its worlds are entirely through the background changes, the color scheme, and the music. Like, how rad is that? Like, the arrangement changes and the instrumentation changes a tiny bit. I think that's all there is down. Oh god. I apologize for being incredibly rusty. Okay, nothing more. I know. It doesn't feed you like it the entire time. I'm not going to do that level because I know I can't do that level. Like, I legitimately just can't do that level. Like, I had completed like 80% of the game. That level was one of the things I hadn't done. Right, and here they're introducing you like a new concept. Before you just used it to go up. Now you're actually like kind of using it to jump. Right, where you go in and then up. So like with every little world they introduce something new. Also, like, God, I'm like legitimately bad at this game. Which I have 10 hours of playtime, and this is not the kind of game that I would traditionally really like. No, that is wrong. This started a trend on what I like. This game is what started my like incredible love with games like Ori and the Blind Forest, and Dark Souls. Everything is Dark Souls, right? But where you are like, you are just told to go ham, right? And then you make mistakes and you die because of those mistakes. Okay, I'm gonna have to. So, how? Yeah. I'm just gonna have to like. Okay. I'm trying to find out what control scheme I actually enjoy using. Come on. Oh, so close. Like. And we're through. And again, this is a type of level that we definitely haven't seen before. Well, like... Well, now we have to navigate in a like completely different way. And this game really does one of the things platformers have to do, which is introduce you to mechanics and then slowly expand them. See, why was I even holding shift down there? That's stupid. I think the reason I really enjoy this game is it's such a culmination of less is more. Like, the classic design rule is KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Which, like, by itself is actually a kind of stupid rule, but, like, what could you, like, really do to improve this game? Like, that is one of the thoughts I have often, is, if you look at this game, what would you improve? Like, currently I don't like the handling, but that's because I'm getting used to it. God damn. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Hey. Oh. So close. Come on. I was so afraid I was gonna, like, do something stupid then die. Okay, so up, jump. Okay, so release shift, enter shift, hold shift, jump, hold shift, release shift, hold shift, jump, and done. Like, it's these very subtle things that this game does that's just delightful. Like, and again, this is an entirely new kind of level. Right. Well, it's not challenging you to... Like, here the challenge isn't jumping a gap. Here the challenge is jumping that gap without jumping too high. And additionally, every level has a time trial, which is such a small little, like, detail that really adds a lot. Did you know you are supposed to jump? And again, here we're using our momentum to charge up to a super jump. So, next new element, timing. Which I appreciate is somewhat timed to the music, but not exactly. Good enough. Oh, my heart gets all runny. Okay, let's have a look at these levels. Okay, this is a variation of it. Let's go down to the first world and see if we can find the first one of those levels. Well, they introduce an enemy. Because this game doesn't have enemies except for this guy. who just like kind of menacingly follows you around. And if you're touching, you die. And you can like juke him around and stuff, which would work much better if you know what you're actually doing. Okay, close enough. Oh god, it's been so long since I've played this game. So yeah. And that guy is only in that kind of levels. Let's check this out. This introduces levels where you really shouldn't stop. Like, you jump once and never again. And this again, this kind of restrained level. That's too far. So now you kind of have to like, okay, is that far enough? Yes, it is. Okay, good. What are the music changes in this world? Also, some of my favorite like pieces of this game. Like, it uses blank space so well. Where like blank space is actually an obstacle. As weird as that sounds, like when there is nothing, like then you sometimes like have to deal with that. See, this world is very happy on these like levels where you just like don't have ground. And you're doing this balancing act between rising and falling. Oh yeah, this is one of these as well, where now you have to be selective on what platforms you choose to jump from, right? Because, yeah, it's not that jump. But there are some jumps here you can make, and some where you just straight up fall through. Like I think it's, if you take this and do this, you just fall through. Which is a bit of a dick move, but it teaches you to be aware of from where you are dropping. Which is a weird element. Let's go to the other side. No, you have to like start from an area above it. So. And you can get this. Can't you? No! Down here. So I think this is up here. And again, fuck it. Let's leave and try something else. Oh! Moving objects. We haven't seen that before. Like, not exactly sarcasm there, because we haven't seen that in this game before. Right. That is like actually new. But also hard, so I'm not gonna deal with it. And now we're back in this world and the music changes back to this. And it's so delightful. Like the music transitions are like honestly really beautiful. If like you are me. Right. Huh. Oh, this is one. Yeah. Oh, so close. Oh god. Guys, I have hot chocolate. So. It is one of those games where the basic game itself is actually like legitimately pretty simple. Right, like mechanically this is a very simple game. But the music, like really having the music be this ever-changing element is gives it this form of charisma that is just like, I don't know how to describe it, and honestly it might just be because I like have an immeasurable amount of love for music, right? And giving me this very proggy soundtrack makes me incredibly happy. But having it just come back to like this one like phrase is just beautiful to me. Oh my god. I tried so hard. And again, the worlds are kind of like these quadrants. These both lead to order. Let's try doing this. Whee! Okay, so we need to enter a bit further down. We got a star, boys. No, we got a circle. Damn it. Okay, 45 minutes. Okay, if I remember correctly, it's one jump up here. Grab this. Okay. No, you have to stay online for this, and then you get the third one, and then you turn left to get that point. Oh, this one. No, yeah. So you have to get that down here. So as you can see, this game really focuses on how quick they are to reset, right? Like, this is me killing myself repeatedly as fast as I can. like, the game resets incredibly quickly. Right. Which is one of the marks in its favor that I really, really enjoy. Like, to me, this is one of those games that just takes what it wants to be and then is nothing more. This game is a cool platformer with a sweet soundtrack. It is nothing more and it doesn't need to be. Right? And it has this passing through objects mechanic that it uses a lot. It absolutely achieves that goal. Oh god, isn't this... yeah, it's this level. This is one of these games that emote a lot without actually having like great graphics. I have played this in like a 480 by 480 window a lot, like just while I was working on like school problems and stuff, just having it in the background to like just take my mind off for a few seconds. And it is still the same. Like, it's still this little ball doing nothing but like trying to get through shit. And I think limiting itself to just being that is what makes this game what it is. Well, not high enough. If I'm correct, I'm pretty sure that's Snoop Dogg's catchphrase. So, wait, no, you can like go... The pro strat is going down here? Down. You have to like really just skim it. And exit and enter. Or you can like do it the slow way, right? Like where you do that. But this is way more fun. And okay. So the reason I chose this game is because I thought about beautiful games and this was the first thing to hit me. And then I thought about why was that? Right. Why is this game actually beautiful? And so this is where the like boring art class questions arise. What is beauty? And I think in this game's case it is knowing what you are and being that. Right, like. I honestly should read about it, but how do you even make this game? Like, this is such a fine lesson in creating a mood. And yeah, it's hard. Fuck that shit. Also, I had no idea like that small jump was going to work. I just straight up tried. Because if it worked, right? Aww. Huh. I don't think I like remember hearing this. Huh. That's... This part is a really cool version. Oh, I remember this. As in the music, not this level. Actually, I just had a thought, right? If you take any of these elements by itself, this game isn't that impressive, right? Like, it has very tight controls, and that's great. But outside of that, this doesn't feel like what I would actually call a masterpiece of gaming. But this is such a great example of, like, the same with the music. The music is great and I love it. But I don't think it stands out for itself. Huh, we have a new world. Also notice, the music didn't stop. It kept playing and then it was like, okay, we're going there now. Has this like very like soft. Oh no, not this level. This is legitimately one of these levels that have been pissing me off for ages. Because I can't get that son of a bitch down there. Like, actually, this is my Moby Dick. There's one level of a platformer that I really like. Right. Release the shift button. I love how it is just... You, like, it's just out of reach. Like, spend this time to just listen to the music, right? Huh. That's percussion. Ain't that weird? The game hasn't had percussion before. Huh. And that's too high. I think it's something like you have to go down here. It wasn't. It was apparently, okay. beat my Moby Dick. I'm so happy. Now the stream is entirely successful. This is also a level that is just delightful. Like, dude, just playing this game gives me this, like, beautiful smile. Damn it. But yeah, this is what I really want to show off during this stream. Is not what has the prettiest artwork, not what is like, no, I don't want to show you an oil painting. Not cause oil paintings are boring, but because I have seen a fucking ton of them. Oil paintings are very beautiful. And honestly, they are a very interesting form of art. And I love paintings, right? But they aren't games. And the games are what we're looking at. So, the question changes from what is beauty to what is a beautiful game? And I can't answer that. But I can answer and tell you, I think a beautiful game is one that knows what it's doing. And here's the metaphor I'm going with. A beautiful person is someone who knows they're beautiful. Right? There is nothing prettier than confidence. And I think it's the same with games. Right. When they just take an aesthetic and fucking run with it. Like, this game is unapologetically modern, right? The game is broken down into what is a game? You can die and you can jump. Then there's an extra mechanic added in for flavor. And then there's a beautiful soundtrack. I am so mad right now because I actually got in there. I just like held shift down. Got there. Oh, I was so afraid I was gonna fuck up there. Nice. Also, this is one of my favorite levels in this game. And the reason is actually quite simple. Because I have not seen a game do this before. I haven't seen a game that just adds negative space, right? I have seen spikes before, but I haven't seen games where the walls are what you're supposed to move through, right? That breakdown, like, just really gets me. Like, too high. Snoop Dogg isn't dead, but I felt it was appropriate to say anyway. You can't just say we're going down and just jump off a cliff, Jacob. Oh. No. I'm gonna have kids one day. Let's go look at the other ones. Oh, we can go over here now. This is again one of these. You can't stand still? Oh yeah, I remember this like very particularly. So it's jump straight up. How is it you did that? Is it down here? Yeah. Well, it wasn't like that. The soundtrack is so good. Like, I realize I'm repeating myself by saying that, but I actually genuinely really think it is. Can't do that, you gotta stop. Whee! Nope, not good. How is that possible in 3 seconds? That's straight up bullshit. Fuck you. No, that's not possible. I remember this and I remember not being able to beat it. Second. Like, this game varies very well between having these levels where you have to do these big and wild movements, and then also having these very compact and like economy of motion type levels, which is something that really impressed me. Because if you look like a classic like Mario, right? Which is the thing I look at when I think classic platformer. I apologize to other people who think of something else, but they don't have these very confined and very depth-filled levels. Like, those games are very much a marathon of platforming, right? Like a Mario level is a platforming marathon. Which is a really weird thing to say, but it is, right? You are like doing all these very simple things and might fuck up somewhere, right? Where all of this is actually mostly complicated. There are very few like simple levels in this, except when they're trying to do like the difficulty ramp up at the beginning, right? Because you can't have a game start off like being straight up impossible, right? Like these games are like platforming sprints. And like these real bombastic levels where you have to do all these like actually crazy things. Like, actually, like, go ahead, imagine that this character was somehow a humanoid. Oh, this music is so good. See, now if you go down here, then you push stop. Ah, this is so beautiful. Ah. We're almost getting there. Damn it. Down, up. Getting this timing right is like actually difficult. Luckily for me, they timed the music right, so like. Damn! We're getting there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the timing level I embarrassed myself on. Again. It has all these like precision jumps, which like this game was my introduction to this kind of gameplay. I really feel like this game does it incredibly well. You get these muscle memory sequences down. what I really appreciate about this game is that you can just kind of go, okay, that level wasn't for me, let's try something else. It has... As I say, everything is Dark Souls, but this game does the thing where it seems incredibly hard, but it's actually incredibly forgiving. Right. Oh no, you went back to the start of the level with no other penalty. Right. And if you haven't noticed it, every level requires picking up only 3 orbs. Right. None of them are longer than that. So they're all relatively short. It's like, it is just these very challenging sprints. Which, a game I really want to do on here at some point is Super Meat Boy, which is one of the games outside of this that does this really well. Like the whole concept of platforming sprints. Well, the most important parts are you respawn quickly and the levels are somewhat short. Actually, a game I really want to play is... because I just remembered Super Meat Boy, and some of my favorite parts of that game were the chase sequences that the bosses often did. Or that some of the bosses did, right? That were just, like, exquisite. And just having an entire game of that seems like my kind of thing. Like a boss rush type game, except the bosses are chases. I think that game would be really good. Or rather, I think it could be. That is actually a genre I have been really fascinated by lately, is the whole boss rush thing. Because the interesting thing about bosses is that, as well as being mechanical, like, stop points, they're also narrative in some way, right? Most video game bosses wouldn't be nearly as good if there weren't the whole emotional thing, right? If you saw me playing Ori and the Blind Forest, the escapes wouldn't be nearly as good if you weren't incredibly invested in your character and what would happen to the world around you. Especially the last one in that game. If you aren't where you are being... There's you are just being forced out of a natural catastrophe, right? The final boss of that game is you deliberately being chased by an enemy. And if you aren't afraid of that enemy, it doesn't work nearly as well. I usually don't have these very screamy reactions to games. That game got me. Like, I straight up screamed at a jump scare. If you saw me play Doki Doki Literature Club, I often laughed. Because that is my reaction to horror. No, that is my reaction to terror. Horror and terror are a theory I steal from a guy called Cameron Lauder, who does some of my favorite internet things. He has this theory hypothesis rather, I think he picked it up from somewhere, I'm not sure. But I'm swiping it from him specifically. Where horror is... like, okay. Starting with terror is probably better. Terror is the thing that makes you go, oh shit. Right. It is Jason Voorhees coming out of, like, the water incredibly quick and being scary. Horror is the thing that makes you not able to look away. Right. That is the... like, that is the Grudge's main villain, right? With her jaw fucked up and long, like, disgusting hair. That's horror. Whereas terror is also effective, and terror wouldn't be nearly as effective without horror, and that goes both ways, right? Also notice the enemy's movement patterns change. So here it has these random periods of real fast. Like, I'm Sonic right now. I'm in Sonic mode and you can't stop me. Which makes the juking very different. But yeah. Well, I was talking about horror and terror. And that... my reaction to terror is often just laughing. Because I don't react incredibly well to terror. Like, I am an incredibly nervous person. I have anxiety, and therefore I have developed, like, reflexes that I just, like... if I watch a horror movie with you, you are going to get punched and I apologize. Just, like, completely involuntary reactions. And because I was doing Doki Doki with myself, like, with the stream, I just turned that off and instead laughed. But when Ori and the Blind Forest had primarily used horror. Not like a lot of horror, but definitely some when building up Kuro. Kuro is the big fucking owl that fucks with you in that game. And then it sprinkled a little bit of terror in there, and I was scared shitless. It used it incredibly well. To give emotion to the player, right? Now, that's really cool of them using, like, these narrative tricks and using, like, horror to elicit an emotion from the player. I have also reacted while playing this game, right? Like, I have expressed disappointment at myself being stupid. I have, like, cheered at my own successes. Because this game is, instead of that, it's exploiting human nature in another way. Humans love being challenged, right? That's why we play darts at the bar, right? That's why we play sports, because we love competing. I talked with a guy on Twitter recently, like, not long, but he mentioned, like, that in the discussion of art he would include sports, and I was like, huh, that's wait, no it's not. Have you ever watched, like, sat down with someone who's really into it and watched, like, a game of football? That is so great. It is... dude. I only watch football with my dad. And it's great. We get so into it. And that is just a human, like... sport is essentially the hero's journey times how many players there are, right? And I think it's honestly one of the best tellings of the hero's journey. And okay, I've been working on this for some time. Sport is the Dark Souls of art. Okay, here's why. In Dark Souls, you only get the story if you like read all the logs and stuff like that. Outside of that, it's just a guy succeeding, and if he fails, he tries again. You get this exact same experience from sports, unless you follow the like players or follow a team along, right? Unless you read the newspaper and learn about these people, you only really get the win-loss thing and the things that happen up there. So yeah, sport is the Dark Souls of art. I'm gonna stop that that tirade now. But yeah, just the same as sport, this game gets reactions from your competitiveness, right? Oh, not your competitiveness, because you're not competing with anyone but yourself. This game gives you a set of goals and asks you to complete them. It doesn't even ask you to. There's no reward for doing anything. Okay, that's wrong. You get to hear cool new music. But that's it, right? You don't get, like, any benefits in the game. You just get this cool feeling inside of I fucking did it. And honestly, that's all I want. They are like pitting you against yourself. They are testing your abilities, and somehow that makes it so more intense when you're fighting against yourself. I love this color scheme so much. Huh. Now the goddamn spikes are moving. Also, notice that is a 3-pointed spike compared to the 4-pointed spikes that don't move. That's such a like subtle way to classify them, and it just makes me incredibly happy that it's like that. Damn it. There's this subtle weather effect from the left. Just like this whoosh. Man, it's not often that I like actually come from hearing a synth. That was such a... such a good build. I'm not particularly into rhythm games, but games that use the soundtrack as a large storytelling thing makes me happy beyond belief. It made a noise as I hit the like edge. It's like dunk. That's disheartening. That little thump is the fucking saddest. And for once I made it, but I held the shift button down. And again, this jump. Also, I'm deliberately being silent here, so that you can listen to how the music changes. Because this is one of those games that's really hard to show off. And I hope I can give that most of it to you, because most of what this game really gives me is there's this intense satisfaction when you like succeed. Whoop! Huh? Fuck this. I love that jump so much. Like, I think it is one of my favorite jumps in, like, gaming. I think I've completed this, like, level a couple of times. But there's something incredibly, like, hard about this. Because you have to time it right there. It's... Okay, let's do this. Why am I... Yeah, I don't have to be afraid of selling that. So, yeah. Not just me claiming that this game is beautiful. Beautiful is maybe not the correct word, but it is. It's the word I've chosen. Not because it's the most accurate. Because accuracy is not what I'm going for here. What I'm really going for is explaining thoughts about art. Because art is such an enigmatic thing, right? I've met a lot of people who wanted to talk about, like, who were afraid to talk about art because they felt unqualified. I'm fucking unqualified to talk about anything, but I'm still going to do it. Like, I am starting a D&D podcast, something I only have like 2 years of experience with. I have over 10 years of experience about talking about art. I'm 21. I am like serious when I say that. I have always loved art. I have always loved the science of telling an emotion, of confined, like... A guy on Twitter, I like Twitter a lot, had this like really great line that art is the technology of feelings, and I would agree. Art analysis is literally useless. That's not something I say a lot. Analyzing art is absolutely useless. You will not gain anything from it. Like, there's nothing productive coming from it. But what... Now, saying it's useless is a bit hyperbolic and attention-grabbing, but what you get out of it is explaining why that art is good. Now, art doesn't have to be good. The correct is explaining why you like it. I like professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is fucking shit. What's interesting is going in there and looking at why do I like it? Why does it make me feel these things, right? I watched SmackDown earlier today, and I laughed. I almost cried while watching Raw last night. I wanted to punch a woman. I legitimately wanted to kill one of the characters. If you haven't watched the Raw from 6th of March and tell me that Alexa Bliss isn't a fucking cunt. No, not the actor, but the character. Oh. It was so weird. You can like bad stuff. That's okay. Let's analyze the bad stuff and find out why you like it. And this is what we're doing with the show. We're looking at games that I not necessarily really like. We're probably going to look at the things I don't like. Because I really believe we can learn a lot about from that, right? What's curious is the thing we want out of it is what we'll gain won't be like. None of us will be great game like directors afterwards. That's like another skill you will have to develop by yourself, man. I can't help you there. What I can help you with, and what I will help myself with, is knowing what I fucking like. And finding out why. Okay, we're supposed to jump there? Yeah. I'm really a little bad at this. Okay. I think it's time to do a conclusion, right? This game is called The Sun and Moon. Why? I have no clue. My suspicion is this mechanic, where you kind of go into the dark side. What is this game? This game is a platformer. That's all it is. It is a platformer with a beautiful soundtrack and simple but charming visuals, right? Just this panning background is... There's something otherworldly about this. We have no idea. The thing that makes me come back to this game is the soundtrack, right? It's the soundtrack that is evolving and ever changing, right? Like, the soundtrack is good for the same reason that people look at a Windows screensaver for hours, right? Which I hope other people do. I might just be really autistic. this game is such a great example of just doing the thing you set out to do, right? And slowly evolving. And evolving in different directions. As you can see from the different worlds, the soundtrack changes in slightly different ways. Like this and the White World adds percussion, and others have more glitchy synths and stuff like that add up. And the ever-changing mechanics are added, and not just mechanics but level structures, right? This world's level structures are very precise and very being careful with your jumps and timing. Where the yellow, orange, black thing was very much about flow and using your bouncing and you're moving into dark territory to keep this flow going. This game is so deeply simple and yet I love it so much. I recommend playing it and do not complete this game. I can't complete this game, and I've been playing it for a couple of years now. Not just like focus, just play a couple of levels and enjoy this. Because this game is very much an experience. This is the Sun and Moon. This is a simple platformer with an amazing evolving soundtrack that evolves as the game evolves as well. It is a combination of three excellent elements. A solid gameplay loop. Beautiful low poly graphics that are very simple and crisp and achieve what they want to do. And an amazing soundtrack. Those three elements put together to form this experience of successes and failures again and again. And that's all it is. But it does it incredibly well. And I think it deserves some recognition for that. This was the first When They Want Us. Next week we're looking at the game Grow Home, which is also amazing and has beautiful low poly graphics, and there I will focus on awe and size. Another game that would be very good for that is Shadow of the Colossus. That's a fucking comparison to make, isn't it? Grow Home and Shadow of the Colossus. I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. This was a delight. I am so happy to do this and continue this. I hope at least this was informative and got your gears spinning about art. Take care. Thank you for watching. If you're still here, thank you a lot. Goodbye. Have a nice week, wonderful people of the internet. I love you.